Hello there, and welcome to the War Factory for today, August the 24th. It's my birthday and I'll cry if I want to, or I'll just use grenks. Because, as you can see here, you can land on the beach. I know it looks close and it looks scary, but you can actually land on the beach without having to worry about anything. That's important. Now, I kind of wanted to bring them up and have them clear some things out, but as you can see, the Grens kind of spread south. I was not a fan of that, but I wanted to come up into this corner and then flare for the shock blaster. Now, unfortunately, my second smoke, I actually placed too far back. So, you know, I had troops running out of the smoke, and I expected more than what eventually came out. So I had to shock early, but properly place that smoke, and it'll make life much easier. 2 shocks takes out the whole top end of this guy, of this cluster, I guess. You will have the one flamethrower that's kind of reaching out to touch someone, but hopefully you should be okay. And eventually your tanks and your Grens are just going to bomb it down. Now, again, I am doing tank Gren. I'm sure if you were to do this with just tanks and medics, it'd work out fine. I just thought the Grens would come in handy for what comes after this. So, you know, make it fit into what you have available to you. Also, as always, this attack is completely unboosted, which, you know, is, I guess, not saying anything with the statues I have, even unboosted. It's a little on the ridiculous side. You know, it's the equivalent of most people boosted, I guess. But that is neither here nor there. What you want to do with your tanks and your Grens, or your tanks and your tanks, is clear out this little cluster. You're taking out a whole bunch of shield generators, obviously, and building up a bunch of energy, which is important, because we're going to use that energy very shortly. Because once that block is done, the machine guns, the little 4-pack of machine guns to the, we'll call it the 9 o'clock, well, maybe like 8:30-ish of the HQ, those machine guns, they gotta go. And the good news is there's a whole bunch of laser beams and shock blasters and all kinds of craziness and whatnot. You can actually take that whole mess out with one shock, which is important because that'll allow your tanks to, like, finish off the machine guns without losing a whole bunch of your Grens in the meantime, and then you can reposition over to the sniper side of things. And now, don't get me wrong, I know as you move down and you get into, like, the machine guns and you get into the sniper towers and stuff, those grapplers start really messing with you. Honestly, it's one of the reasons that I brought Kevin along, because I wanted to use his undead army to, like, give myself a buffer. Unfortunately, what I realized is, buffer bad, because the Riflemen up close would pull in the lasers, and then the lasers would toast the Riflemen, and blah blah blah. So it gets a little expensive to the end. The good news is you don't have to really go through, like I did this just to make my life a little bit easier, but you don't have to go through and do all of this extra clearing out around the HQ. If you do, though, it works incredibly well. As you can see, like, all of the stuff around the HQ, the sniper towers, the machine guns, the mortars, all the things are hurt really badly or cleared right out. Like, I was actually really happy with the amount of sniper towers that got cleared out, and I kind of got cut off of that attack because of time, but as you can see, like, there are a few extra things that I just need a little more damage to, and it takes them out, and I kind of did it. Now, the flamethrower over on the left-hand side, it does have to go. Like, that's one of the ones that I wanted to. The mortar and the machine gun there, I was kind of just hoping I could get them with the one barrage and take them out. It didn't work out, and I was kind of annoyed, and I kept going back and looking, like, should I just do a GBE attack, or because my OCD was kicking in hard. I was just like, I can't leave those 2 guys there with that few hit points. Like, this is going to drive me nuts. But ultimately, it needed to be done because I wanted to clear mines out of the way of my Zookas. Now, I messed up, and I messed up quite large, because there's 2 mines here. I took them both out as a force of habit. I actually wanted to leave one of those mines active. And the reason I wanted to do that is because when my Zooks run over it, they're going to get hurt, and that's going to suck Kevin up to the front of the pack with my Zookas. And obviously, because that mine is gone, you're going to see the results, and it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty at all. I tried to kind of compensate, I guess, for the lack of Kevin, and unfortunately it did not work out. It didn't work out at all. As you can see, Kevin is hanging back 1 smoke, and I tried to like pull him forward, and then I just ran into a new problem of, hey, he's still behind 1 smoke, and I guess I could have like double smoked, which also would have been viable, but it didn't happen, so... and same deal as last time, you've got all of these lasers and the shock blaster here, shockable with 1 shock. I threw some critters, turns out probably a bad idea because it activated the laser beam on the other side, but as you can see, even with all my bungling, still a nice easy win. Should be no problem for you. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful, hopefully it's been entertaining, and above all else, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.